Okay, I'm back, y'all, in Divinely Grateful Risings. How are y'all doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day. If you are new to the community, welcome. We are so happy and so grateful that you are here. And if you already been rocking with me, I appreciate y'all. I got a message, y'all. I got a message. Listen, can I just say this? Let me just say this. The Lord is using me in a different way right now, y'all. And um, I'm going to be putting out messages like this because I just got to do what the Lord is telling me to do, and that's just it. He's changing things. So just know, for those y'all been over here in this community, okay, just know there are going to be a lot of messages coming out because the Lord is just like, listen, I need you to go tell the people in them what I need you to tell them. So listen, this message is called Wolves and Sheep. Here's why. So y'all stay tracking with me, okay? I hope it makes sense. So for maybe the last week or so, look at the butterfly, the hummingbirds out here. For about the last week or so, y'all, I have been getting wolves just over and over and over. Like no matter where I looked, no matter where I went, I kept seeing the word wolf everywhere, y'all, everywhere. And I was just like, okay, Lord, what are you trying to show me about this? And so the Lord made a lot of it come. It really has just started to come together over the last couple of days. So I'm finally able to put this message out here. Um, I'm gonna try not to make this too long, but just stay tracking with me. So I kept getting wolves. I kept getting wolves. Hold on, y'all. I gotta put my phone on the charger. Don't be judging me, y'all. I just left the gym and I was sitting here and I was chopping it up, and the Lord brought this message to me, and I had to go ahead and record it. Okay, so anyway, I've been getting wolves, 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 right? Wolves, wolves, wolves. I'm gonna explain this in just a second. Now, let me just say, if you new to the community, don't come over here with no religiosity in your spirituals, because baby, we ain't on that, and the Lord will get the message however He needs to get the message out. Okay, I'm back. Listen. So just everywhere, everywhere, I just kept getting wolves, and I didn't understand it, and so finally, the Lord is starting to make it make sense. So of course, we have some scripture as well that we're going to go to. So I think the final piece happened yesterday to make me understand wolves. Some of you narrowly escaped. There may have been a situation, there may have been a person, there may have been something that the Lord delivered you from. Okay, He delivered you. He removed you out of a situation. Um, but it was like a temptation, right? Or it was just something. Maybe you had to go through the experience to learn something that you needed to learn. But needless to say, the Lord removed you out of a situation, right? You may find that certain situations are coming back around, and you maybe aren't even thinking about it, but be mindful, because for some of y'all, there are situations that are coming back around, but the Lord is pointing out, don't fall for the okey doke, okay? Don't fall for it. And so He took me to scripture today because He told me, I did a video last night. It was about the number 2323. I have another video I have to do about that, but I had to do this one first. Um, so all of this kind of came from that as well. Even in this movie that I watched last night called Signs, y'all, they said something, and this is what really triggered it too. Because even in that movie, they were saying, like, he said something about the Wolfington brothers. I had to replay it back to make sure I wasn't tripping. I had to turn the captions on and everything, okay, to make sure that I was like, did he say wolf? Knowing that I just had been getting this over and over and over from the Lord. So fast forward, okay, so back up a little bit. So yesterday, so keep wolves in mind. We're coming back to that. And I'm sure some of y'all already know this scripture, Matthew 7 and 15. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Okay. I hope I wrote that down. So now back up just a little bit. Yesterday, I went and hung out with my children a little bit. I hung out with my son. And so my daughter ends up when she went to wash clothes, she came back home, and so she brought me this. Okay, she brought me this. Now I hope y'all can see. Yes, it has a bunch of little symbols and things on it. And at first, I was like, I don't know how I felt about it, because it's all this symbology that I don't know. But the thing that drew my attention, and I got to do a video about this as well, and it kind of led to this as well, was there's a cross on this finger. I hope y'all can see it. And but in the middle, message in the middle is actually um the all-seeing eye, if you will. So I actually did some research last night, because at first I was kind of like, I didn't know what everything was for on here. But the eye of this is protection, right? In different religions, I looked it up, I read about it in Judaism. The all-seeing eye is all about protection. So I was like, okay. And so I kind of just was like, okay, Lord, what are you trying to show me about this? So, needless to say, last night the Lord gives me the 2323 video, and then he ends up telling me last night that I needed to read the book of Acts. And so I'm literally here, I'm reading the book of Acts. But before he sent me to Acts, he said, go and look at Second Peter. Go and look at Second Peter. And so Second Peter 2, I hope I can see this, y'all. Y'all know I can't see, okay, with my glasses on. Second Peter 2 and 13, or 2 and 12. Well, Second Peter 2 talks about the danger of false teachers, okay? And so the Lord, as I was reading this, I took a few notes, but he literally just brought it back to me right now, that some of you, whoever, whatever you may have been associated with before, that the Lord has delivered you from, be very careful, because this is something, it's almost, I don't want to say it's a warning, but it's kind of a warning. Like, just be mindful of old temptations, old things that the Lord has delivered you from, coming back into your awareness. Just be mindful of that. So let me tell you what the Lord pointed out. He was highlighting false teachers. They delight in deception, even as they eat with you in your fellowship meals. They lure unstable people into sin, and they are well trained in greed. So this is for some of you. So I hope y'all are connecting the dots. Some of you, maybe when you were worldly, maybe when you weren't really following the Lord, maybe when you weren't being as obedient, you could have been lured into something that was worldly, that was sinful, that was like, maybe you were chasing the bag, chasing money, something like that. I don't know. But be very mindful of those old temptations trying to get you caught back up. Remember, come on, God, for a lot of you, what it was is that at that time you were unstable, you were vulnerable, you were going through a period of vulnerability. Maybe whatever you were trying to do, it was like you were easily lured into something, but that something wasn't no good for you. Okay. It was not any good for you. So just be very mindful, because some of you, there may be some old temptations or some things that you notice are trying to spin the block or come back around and trying to lure you back. You may still be in an unstable place. You may be like, maybe things are not quite the way you want them to be, but the Lord is making shifts and adjustments. This is a test. Don't fall for it, okay? Let me read this. I hope this is tracking, because the second part of this that's coming through is the Lord is protecting you. You have protection. When my daughter, of course, my children know that I follow Jesus. They know what type of time I'm on, but my daughter gave me this. And like I said, at first, y'all, I was a little iffy, right? And I'm going to do another video on this simply because of the research that I did. But then the Lord brought it to my attention. He said, how do you know that this wasn't my way of providing you extra protection? Now, you don't have to believe in none of this if you don't want to. And if this don't resonate in your spirituals, I'm good with that. But the thing about it is, my children don't all have the same beliefs that I have. So but at the same time, I can recognize that the fact that this message, the fact that that she gave me this, is her way of protecting me from things unseen, protecting me from things that, because she's very much tapped in, very much aware. um and very much a very spiritual person. And so I want somebody to be mindful of that. Like the Lord had to humble me a little bit last night, because he was like, listen, if your child is coming in and giving you something for protection, you got to pay attention. Like he's teaching me to learn to just pay attention to how things are aligning. And so even this led to wolves, led to Second Peter, which is saying, keep your guard up. Come on, God, keep your guard up. Okay, keep your guard up against the snares, the traps, the tricks of the enemy, because you're at a point of transition, which I say transformation. And so as you're at that point, it's where you can be the most vulnerable. And you're like, the enemy will try to come in, and he's subtle, because a lot of you, the Lord has done so much work on you that the same tricks ain't gonna work, but it's just subtle. So be very mindful of the subtlety. Thank you. Look at the hummingbirds, the subtlety of the enemy. Okay. And trying to tempt you out of a blessing, tempt you. Lord, I hope that beetle don't fly in the car. If you knew, welcome. We so happy, so grateful you were here. Y'all know I'd be all over the place. But just understand that we're not going to fall for old temptations. We've learned. And so the Lord, he's strengthening your gifts. He's strengthening your discernment. He's making you aware. And this video is, come on, 11:11. I can't make it up. I'm telling y'all, go. It was just a little bit. Y'all, the 11:11 is on the title. It's on the title, 23:23. That message, I'm telling you, I did it, the video at exactly 11:11 last night, 23:23. So go watch that video. I'll try to link it if I can figure out how to do it. I'm gonna try to work on that. But that video talks about your gifts are being unlocked. He's unlocking your gifts. And so one of the things that I know the Lord is strengthening me in is signs and wonders and miracles. And I can't really explain it because I don't know all about it yet. But the Lord, last night, child, daddy was just telling me about it, and he was showing me about it, and he gave me revelation about it. It's a lot, but that's not what this is about. Okay, I'm back. So just be aware that the Lord is trying to make you aware of, because look, he even talks about earning money by doing wrong. We not falling for none of that. We've already passed those tests, so we won't fall back into the traps, the snares, the schemes, and the tricks of the enemy. Okay, 12:16. So I hope this helps somebody. I hope it was tracking. Go, just know that I feel like for some of you, this message is simply to say, listen, don't fall for it, okay? Don't fall for the okey doke. You're not going to be tempted back in. Um, and that's that. Real quick message, but I hope it makes sense. I love y'all in real life. Hydrate your soul and things. Drink your water. Say your gratitude. I just got to do what the Lord is telling me to do. So I hope this helped you. Just be mindful. The enemy's slick. He's subtle, but you hip. Okay. Love y'all in real life. Bye, y'all.